Okay. No, well, for Christmas, I was hoping for a real Christmas party for me and my family since my birthday is in December. I've been without a Christmas tree for more than 10 years, and we don't decorate the patio or the garden or anything. Actually, we've already lived in more than 4 or 5 different places, and we don't decorate the patio or the inside of the apartment or the house that we're in. Right now, we are in an apartment. We live in Alamo, Texas, but we have a Dollar Tree, a Walmart, and an HEB around the area, which like we can go in a taxi or walking to some of the stores because you just walk from one corner to another side of the street and the HEB, the Walmart is there, the Dollar Tree is there, but we don't have any money or time to decorate. And it's sad because my birthday's on December, and I celebrate my cumpleaños in the second week of December and every year, but we don't really celebrate. We do, but I don't do the planning for the party or anything. My mom and her sister, they pay the cake and they do the invite for everybody when my birthday comes around, like December. December the second week, day 9 of December. And so I was hoping, for a real Christmas party every year here at my apartment, but they have rules here at the apartment that you cannot host parties here in the property. So I cannot host a party here, even if it was a Christmas party or a birthday party, because of the rules that they have in the property. We're renting; we don't own, and so I was looking into buying a house when I was coming out of high school. At first, it was for me and my boyfriend that I had at that time. But then I started to care for my mom because she was in the hospital multiple times. She was in the hospital more than a few times for surgical procedures. So I just started to take care of my mom, and my mom started to help me out and to take care of me. I've been disabled since 2011. I haven't seen my boyfriend or any of my ex-boyfriends since high school. I'm already 30, 34, gonna be 35 this December. Today is October the 14th, 2025. And my birthday's coming up in December the 9th, 2025. I'll be 35. And so my boyfriend that I had at that time doesn't know because I never told him. But the only real Christmas I had, like with a boyfriend, was with him. I had other boyfriends, I had dated other guys, but I had never celebrated Christmas with any of them. I had an ex boyfriend when I was growing up who lived in the same neighborhood as my grandparents, and we were barely getting to know each other. Like he was introducing us, me and my cousin, to his friends, and with him, I never spent the holidays or anything. And he lived in the same street, just a few houses down. And so my boyfriend that I had at that time, he lived way over there in Las Milpas, and I was living over here in Alamo. I never told him, but I was trying to get a house for me and him because I was planning to go to college for nursing, but my disability doesn't allow me to go to college. Something happened and they moved all the accounts that my mom and my dad had for me for college. In school they made us sign a paper where it tells you that the teachers will assign you to a FAFSA student loan, and you have to sign a paper, a contract or like a paper with them. And I already had my student ID for college. I was gonna go in for LVN Well, I wanted to get, the goal was to reach my bachelor's degree in nursing. And with the money that I was going to work for, I was going to buy a house for me and for him. But I couldn't go to college. I didn't get my GED or my diploma. I got disabled back in 2011. I don't know, all of a sudden I just started to feel something very weird in my body, and I just started to feel like something very different. I don't know, just like a change happened from one year to another, but everything happened so fast. And so that's really what messed up my plans that I had for Christmas and for my birthday. And so no, I have never, other than that time, spent the holidays or anything with any of my ex-boyfriends or any of my friends or anything. Uh, with him, I remember he gave me a Christmas gift and a birthday gift, I think. But I don't remember who I gave the stuff to or who got the stuff. I lost everything. I had a closet full of clothes, and by the time you know it, I had only like half of the clothes, and I lost everything in total. And so I had a computer, I had a laptop, I had a tablet. I couldn't keep either of. I had a Sega Dreamcast, I had a stereo, a radio, I had a boombox. I had a lot of stuff, and I couldn't keep any of the stuff. We changed our address more than 5 times, and we changed our phone numbers and the car that we have more than 5 times. Not because of the looks and all, but because of the money. Because we had to change from regular student to disabled special ed daycare assisting. Like, I go to an adult daycare. So I remember in school they told us anybody who attends special ed classes is disabled. Or anybody who's disabled has to attend the special ed classes. I remember someone broke their foot or something was wrong with their foot in school, and they had to pass them over to a special ed class for a day or two, or for like a week or a month or something like that. Because if you have a disability, you're right off the bat considered special ed in school. I have I'm not a friend, but a person who went to school with us. I remember they reported that something happened to their leg. They had fallen and broken their leg, and they had a surgical procedure done. And they told us that was one of the rules that they have. I don't know if they still have that rule, that once you're disabled, you're considered special ed. Not saying that you cannot think or answer questions, but you're right off the bat considered a special ed student. But but I was in regular classes from when I was little all the way to when I was in high school. But I remember one time when we were in elementary, they had to put us with the slow learning classes or something like that for the students that are slow learners. And they told us it's because some of the students here, everybody that's here, some are in advanced classes, some are in special ed classes, and some are in slow learning classes. Like, they had different kinds of classes for everybody. And I remember I was one of the students that was there that was irregular, that was kind of slow learning when I was in elementary. Yeah, when I got to high school, I only made it up to freshman year, and I didn't get a diploma. I didn't get a GED or anything. And I remember my boyfriend was barely asking me. He was barely asking me if I wanted to marry him. And I wanted to tell him yes, but I was so overwhelmed. I overreacted. I didn't know how to tell him right. I wanted to say yes, but I couldn't tell him because he wasn't there with me when I was trying to tell him. I had a friend who was calling and calling and calling, I would say 12, 18 times, and I didn't pick up any of the calls. And my friend is one of the persons that lived in the neighborhood where my grandparents used to have their house. And he lived a few streets away from there, and all he wanted to know was if I was there, what was I doing, and if I was up for a visit. I guess he wanted to come and visit, or was wondering if I was going to go visit him. Yes, I wanted to visit him, and yes, I wanted him to come and visit. But I don't know what happened. I just didn't pick up any of the calls. His name is Nick, but my boyfriend's name that I had at that time, his name is Jesus. And I was barely going to introduce Jesus to Nick. And Nick was sending lots of messages. I don't know if it was about 8, 10, 15 messages or more. And the messages were very long. Like, it was like, they were big messages. I don't know. I just didn't want to talk to anybody for some time, and I overreacted, and I didn't handle the situation correctly the way a true friend should have, you know. But we were barely like 17, gonna be 18, and I ended up moving out of my boyfriend's house. It's because I didn't live with him, but I always tell them that I did because I was barely gonna move in to his house. And I remember that we were getting food stamps for me and him, or for me and his family. And they gave me $300 worth of food stamps, $300 of food stamps. And they told me that I don't qualify anymore because I signed a paper that time, but I wasn't disabled when I did that. Now I'm disabled, and they told me that the applications has to be redone, done all over again, because I don't live with him anymore, and because now I'm disabled. And so I had lots of messages and calls from my friend, and I wanted to know. I wanted to know if what he wanted to what he was telling me in the messages, what he wanted to talk about, and where he was at, because I wanted to go see him. But I was gonna invite him in to meet my boyfriend. But since my boyfriend didn't talk to me ever since that time, I didn't pick up his messages or calls. And so yeah, so my boyfriend that I had at that time, he doesn't talk to me anymore. And I remember I celebrated Christmas with him and his family, and it was the first time I ever celebrated Christmas with any of my boyfriends. And I don't know, like I wanted to go, like, go back to him and move in with him, but I don't know what happened. Like, I totally got overwhelmed and overreacted. Like, I don't know how to explain it. I just overreacted, you know. Like, I didn't handle the relationship correctly, and the decisions that I was making correctly when he was asking me what I wanted to do of the relationship. And so yeah, so every year that passes by, my mom doesn't put a Christmas tree, but she expects for me to be there for her and the family. I do need them to be there, but you know, time is everything, and not to be mean, right? But you know how there's some people that say, "Oh, Christmas is every day for us." Well, yeah, for me, because not that I live in the North Pole or where it snows, but that's the only time I get to spend time with the family, and when my family gets to come to see me. So that's really why I want to make it extra special every year, so they could remember me and my family. I only have my mom. My dad, he passed away like a few years ago. He died. And so for me, it's hard to see the different side of my mom's life and mine as a family. Without him, it's hard. I thought about everything that I did with my boyfriend without my family. Like, when I was with my boyfriend, I didn't think about my dad and my mom's opinion. Not because I didn't care, but because it was done already. Like, we were together and we were kind of living together and it was done and that's it. But sometimes people have bigger expectations of what you really are to them because they don't know you very well. And they start to think about what your mom and dad think of the relationship, since his mom and dad were always there. But it was always just me and him with his mom and dad. And my mom and dad, they didn't live together. My mom and dad, they didn't live together. They were separated. And so my dad left us since I was very little. So to me, it's hard to live with a person that has both parents all the time because they're like, when are you bringing your mom and dad? And I already showed you my mom and dad. So when are you bringing your mom and dad, you know? So it kind of hurt my feelings when I saw that he didn't do anything to try to be there. And he did, but it wasn't enough to keep us together. So it made me think twice about what really had happened to my mom and dad when they were together. My dad left us since I was very little, since I was like 5 years old when I was very little. We used to live in Far, but they moved us over here to Alamo when I was a teenager. And then we moved over to San Juan when I was in my early 20s. And then they moved us back to Alamo. I'm going to be 35. December the 9th is my birthday. His birthday's on October the 4th, I think. Jesus. Yeah, Nick, I don't know Nick's birthday. I know it's like around December, January type of birthday. Like December, January. But I don't know exactly when. I don't know. I don't know his birthday. I only know Jesus's because we kind of used to live together. Yeah, and so I don't know. Yeah, and so anyway, so we broke up over the phone. I don't remember who got the information or the messages or how they got the information out, but something happened to my friend Nick, and I just haven't seen him and my friends from the neighborhood since then. So I went to a party and I saw him. I was like, I thought you said that I was never gonna see him again. I saw him, but because they really need the visit was really needed that time that he was calling and messaging, but I didn't know where to invite him to, and I didn't know if I should invite him. I wanted to, but I hesitated because we were having problems at my boyfriend's house. My boyfriend that I had at that time, or my boyfriend, he was still thinking about about a girl that he was dating, and the girl kept going to different places that his friends were at. So I fell into one of the traps. I went to one of the houses and she was there, and I don't know what happened, but I wasn't supposed to talk to her or the other girl because I just wasn't supposed to. And I said hi to her. I started to talk to her and the other girl, and we ended up breaking up. He didn't tell me, oh, it's because of her, but I know it was because of her that we broke up. And so, like, I never told her, oh, hey, you want to come to my house, or you want to meet up for, we could go out together. Like, I never told her anything like that. But it was because of that I started to regret it, because I was supposed to introduce him to my friend, and my friend was going to introduce us to his other friends. And I don't know, it just never happened. But I was talking about that because when I used to live in my grandma's house, I had the best time of my life. I met a lot of different people from the neighborhood, and believe me, Christmas was everything to me. Like, I don't know about my cousin, but to me it was everything. My birthday's in December, that's why. And so my cousin celebrates on October the 5th, and her name is Yesenia. and as the Jesus celebrates on the 4th of October. They're just a day of a difference, but she's older than him by a year or two. I don't know, something like that. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm hoping for a good Christmas and a Christmas tree at least, a Christmas tree and some gifts. But I told my mom when they give you something and it's a gift, I don't think you're supposed to know what it is. And I think that was the problem that we had at my mom's house. I think my mom wanted to surprise me at some point, but I'm always with her, so she couldn't surprise me. The other time, she was crying and crying because she had to spend the whole time with me, and I'm not working or anything. I'm not employed or anything, and so my mom's the type of person that if she gives a gift, she likes to surprise the person. I know because when they're gonna wrap up the gifts for Christmas, she would always tell us, "No kids right now, because we're gonna wrap up the gifts, and we cannot have anybody there." But my mom is always with me, like there's no privacy, so I guess that's kind of what messed up. This that's what messes up the surprise, that we're always together and no time apart. So I said, what if I get in my own apartment? What if I get my own apartment and I decorate every year and I give a gift to everybody who was there since I was born? Because there's people in the family who were there when I was born, like who are older than me, and there's people who are younger who were there's some people that are there, but they were there since I was born. Like people that took care of me, that was there for me. Like my mom's brothers and sisters, my dad's brothers and sisters, my grandparents, my cousins. Some of my cousins weren't there when I was born. Some of them were there like when I was a baby. Like only the ones that were there from when I was a baby all the way to right now. I have a cousin who's older than me, but she was there when I was born. And I have other cousins who are younger than me, but they weren't there when I was born. They were not even born yet. So yeah, so that to me is very important for the person to know me very well. Sometimes I want to host a party, like pay a party with DJ and everything, and I want to invite like my family. But then I think about the ones who are younger and that they weren't there when I was born, when my grandma used to throw the chancla or the belt or the hankers at us, and I say no, it's not the same because I would rather my older cousin to be there, because she was there when I was born. She was someone that was in our plans and that had the same plans as us. But when I say us, I'm talking about me, my mom, and my dad. So that's something that it's hard to do because my dad left us since I was 4 to 5 years old, and he wasn't in all the Christmas parties and Thanksgiving parties. And so when he had his passing, when he died, to me it was like I can't believe that he died. Like after the first year that he died, or the next few years, I started to feel like the difference of when he was with us, when he was still alive, and now that he's not with us. And it's like, no, like 100 times better when my dad was there. You know, he was the type of person, maybe because I'm his daughter, but he is the type of person that, to me, he's always gonna be that person. No one compares to him. When he takes us to the store, he would buy us anything that we wanted from the store, as long as he had the money. And he would never complain about the prices or about the quantity of stuff. Not that I would take advantage, but Like, I just felt so comfortable with my dad when I would go to the store. But there was a time where I wanted to be by myself, and anything that wasn't good for me, like in the trust area, was a no. So I don't know, like it's hard for me to accept that I no longer have my boyfriend that I had, my dad, or my friend. And so every time that it's my birthday, I want it to be special, like I want to invite my family in, and I want them to be with me and to never forget my birthday. So I want to do a Christmas party every year, but where do I invite them to? How do I pay the party? And how do I plan the party? And how am I gonna pay the party? So my mom and my aunt, for right now, since I don't have a job or where to invite them to, my mom and my aunt, they get together with the whole family, and they meet up like at a restaurant, and we go celebrate, or we meet up at my aunt's house and we celebrate over there.